Thanks, Sean. Before you go, I have a question for you. If you sat down for a job interview and your prospective boss asked you this, if you were a Microsoft Office program, which one would you be? What would you say?
Oh my gosh. Could I be like the Mac guy in the commercial and bring in somebody who's the Microsoft guy? And wow, I think I just lost the job in that answer.
I don't know, maybe. I think you have to pick a program like Outlook or something. But it's okay. It's okay. It's a tough question. It's a tough question. And it's a real question that one company has been asking. We'll be looking at a whole lot of more bizarre questions from the tech world ahead on Bloomberg West. They can be thought-provoking or unsettling. We'll take a look at some of the oddest job interview questions and why some of the strangest ones come from tech companies. This is Bloomberg West. I'm Emily Chang. Tech companies are constantly looking for the best talent in Silicon Valley. While resumes are useful, employers are asking out-of-the-ordinary interview questions to find out which candidates have the most potential. Bloomberg West editor-at-large is standing by with more. Corey, what's all this about? I mean, I assume this is about catching you off guard and seeing if you can really think outside the box.
Yeah, it's this scramble. I know somewhere it dawned in Silicon Valley that smart hiring isn't about picking the right schools and the best grades. Dig this interview question for a software developer position at Amazon. How would you cure world hunger? Well, Glassdoor is a local company that helps companies understand their interview process and get the best that employees have to offer. Rusty Roof joins us. World hunger, really?
It's to make you think. It's trying to get you to think about something you normally wouldn't think about. See how creative you are, how you think on your feet, how do you problem solve? I mean, technology is all about problem solving.
So let's drill into that question a little bit. Other than asking people things they're not prepared for, what is that, outside of finding out if you've got a beauty contestant for applying for a job, what does that particular question tell you?
Well, I think what that particular question can lead you down the path to think about is, how do you think broadly versus narrowly? Do you actually think about these things? Do you wake up in the morning with some kind of thought and some kind of point of view? I was once told years ago, if you have a point of view, it's worth 10 IQ points. So if you can at least express what that point of view is. And then again, it's really trying to help you think, well, okay, how does someone problem solve? How do they come through it? And if you think out loud, it helps a lot. Like that question you got asked?
Yeah, it's a question about Gandhi.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's a tech-focused show. There is no higher calling as software engineer.
Right. Well, I probably wouldn't do well. But no, I mean, it does raise a question by shooting down the notion. But what is the right answer to that question? So the question put to me was, would Mahatma Gandhi have made a good software engineer? My answer is no.
Right. So what you do is, actually, you don't give an absolute answer. You have to have something behind it. So you stop, you take a big, deep breath of air, and then you think out loud. And you say, okay, so Mahatma Gandhi, very purposeful, very driven, very thoughtful, willing to go to long lengths of suffering to get the job done. Maybe he would make a good software engineer.
I don't think he'd code very well. That's just me thinking. He doesn't see the world in a very binary sense. Let me ask another one. Okay, so a position for a vendor relations manager at Google, and the question asked was, how many people are using Facebook in San Francisco at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Friday?
Didn't you find that interesting that someone from Google was asking a question about Facebook?
Well, so I expect this out of Google. Google's known to have a very difficult and slow hiring process. The founders have asked to meet every single potential hiree, which supposes costs them actually good people that wouldn't wait around. Right. But what is that? I can imagine ways to figure that out.
Yeah.
But what does that particular question ask of a job seeker?
Well, I think that in that area, and we don't know which area it was, could have been somebody who was working on Google+, which actually would have been a very appropriate question to say, okay, so how in tune are you with our competition? do you think about these broad market impact things? And then, spend the time going through, okay, so how would I get to that? What do I think about what's going on Friday afternoon at 2:30? How many people are at work? How many people will be on social networking? Try to cut that down.
How many people use it at the workplace versus at home?
Try to get to some kind of.
How many people are planning their weekend plans?
There is no right answer. There probably is a right answer, absolute, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for how do I problem solve into it.
So your firm actually helps companies come up with these questions because Steve Jobs would ask people, when's the last time you had sex?
Yeah.
Or when's the last time you tripped on acid?
Right.
And it wasn't so much, I think, that he wanted to know actually how many hours it had been since that person had sex. What he wanted to know was, how does this person think out of the box? What kind of rounded individual is it? So you guys help come up with those questions?
No, it's actually the other way around. We take our 100, this came from 150,000 different interview questions. These were flagged as the ones that prospective employees said, and candidates said, these are the ones that we thought were the oddest. And that's how we come to it.
Fascinating stuff. Rusty Roof, Glassdoor, really cool. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Emily?